Today's growing need for energy is evident everywhere we turn. But while nuclear reactors are a common source for generating electricity, there continues to be some reluctance on the part of the general public and regulators to fully embrace the benefits of the nuclear industry, and uranium production in particular.
Uranium ore is actually very benign. You know, the issues that this industry had in the 1950s, we now understand what some of those were, and we've learned a lot. Very similar to our cars, our automobiles today are much different than they were 50 years ago in terms of safety designs that are in place today. In fact, I get more radiation from the time I spend in an airplane traveling around the world to our various operations and to meet investors than I get if I were to spend all of my days here at the White Mesa Mill.
There is growing acceptance that nuclear-generated electricity must be used to maintain and increase the base load power demands of the world. For that reason, the need for safe and responsible uranium exploration and production has never been greater.
The U.S. is the largest consumer of uranium for nuclear power. Nuclear power represents about 20% of all the electricity generated in the United States. Safety is our #1 priority for not only our employees, but also all the stakeholders in the area of our operations. We hold regular meetings. We pride ourselves on our safety performance, and this mill to date is coming up on over 7 years without a lost time accident. The industry overall has a very excellent safety record.
Here along the southern border between Colorado and Utah, the Colorado Plateau encompasses hundreds of miles of mining deposits and a lengthy uranium mining history that goes back to the late 1890s. Denison Mines strategically placed the White Mesa Mill in Blanding, Utah, to serve the surrounding uranium mines of both Denison and other uranium producers.
This mill was built in this area because it's really in the center of the U.S. conventional mining district in the United States. Behind me you can see ore from mines that we currently have in operation. We're also receiving ore from several other independent operators. Currently we consume about 55 million pounds per year of uranium and are only producing 4 within the country.
The White Mesa Mill is a fully licensed facility that recently underwent a multi-million-dollar refurbishment and upgrading to its production equipment and control processes. It is the only conventional operating uranium processing facility in the United States. It also processes alternate feed materials and has a vanadium co-processing circuit.
Vanadium is very important as it improves the economics of our mines. The price of vanadium is actually very strong. And in addition, it's a very strong element in terms of steel production, and that part of the industry is forecast to continue to be strong in the near future.
Today, with the latest tools and technology available in uranium milling, environmental contaminants can now be measured in parts per million, so that milling operators can safely control the effects of its operations. They are able to profitably produce the uranium needed to fuel the reactors without generating the greenhouse gases that affect our environment.
What you see behind me is the mill in the very background, and right behind me is one of our disposal cells. This is a line cell where actually solutions from the processing are stored. And the only way that any of these solutions can leave this facility is through evaporation. New technology, new advances in monitoring equipment. Today we have over 32 monitoring wells measuring over 40 parameters at the ppm level to detect any potential contamination. To date, this mill, in over its 20 years of operation, has had no environmental exceedances from its operation.
With active uranium mines in North America and a global portfolio of world-class exploration projects, Denison Mines Corp. Produces over 1 million pounds of uranium and over 3 million pounds of vanadium each year. Nuclear-generated electricity will always be needed to meet the power demands of the world, and the responsible and safe production of uranium is essential to fill the need for fuel for our nation's nuclear reactors. With active uranium mines in the United States and in Canada, and 100% ownership of the White Mesa Mill in Utah, the country's only conventional uranium mill, Denison Mines Corp. Is a leading supplier of uranium in North America to fuel our nation's nuclear reactors.
Denison Mines' mission is to provide nuclear fuel for the nuclear power industry in order to provide a clean, greenhouse gas-free form of energy for the United States and other parts of the world through our operations in Canada and Zambia and Mongolia.
With exploration projects spanning the globe and a multi-million-dollar refurbishment of its fully licensed White Mesa Mill to upgrade all of its control processes, Denison Mines Corp. Is able to safely and economically produce millions of pounds of uranium and vanadium each year.
The White Mesa Mill is in a strategic location in the United States because it is in the center of all of the conventional mining districts. Only in this area can uranium be produced from conventional mines, and it needs a conventional mill then to process that ore to convert it into uranium and vanadium.
But its green footprint and commitment to safety is of primary concern to this environmentally conscious mining company. State-of-the-art technology closely measures environmental contaminants so that uranium fuel for nuclear reactors can be produced without generating greenhouse gases and without adversely affecting our environment.
To be producing uranium and doing it in an environment which is safe not only for our workers, but for all members of the environment around our operations, including the public and the various stakeholders.
Uranium production fuels our nation's nuclear energy program. But Denison Mines Corp. Ensures that uranium is produced with the environment in mind. For more information, visit denisonmines.com.